Welcome back to another week of Real Fellas Talk Sports, and the fellas are here. Greg Fenner, Larry Abels, and Chuck Snowden. Good evening, guys. Let me start with you, Greg Fenner. How you doing?
It's a cloudy day in the DMV, but the sun is always shining on the Real Fellas Talk Sports.
And Larry Abels, how you doing, Larry?
Hey, I'm doing well today. I'm glad to be back with the guys.
All right. Chuck Snowden.
Hey, listen, Larry, we're more happy to have you back. So welcome back, big fella. It's good to have you. Hey, listen, David, I'm doing great. Can't wait to get the show started. What a week.
What a week it was in sports, particularly the NFL. Oh, my God, there's so many things. And, you know, for me, trying to winnow down what we're going to talk about tonight was tough. Let's start with Monday Night Football. Lions beat the Ravens in Baltimore, 38-30. Derrick Henry fumbles his third straight game. Let's start with you, Greg. Your thoughts on the Ravens and the Lions. The Lions look revitalized. The Ravens, I don't know.
The Ravens are in some kind of funk that nobody can explain. For a talented team like that, they are the worst red zone team that I think I've seen in a long time. They got so many weapons. They're so talented. And when I watch Derrick Henry, these fumbles remind me of a few years ago, Ezekiel Elliott. Once he gets in your head, I think it's more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing, because Derrick Henry is clearly one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL. I mean, this guy is a beast, and he's coughing that ball up like church offering. I mean, he is giving it up. And the only way I can explain it is mental. But there's something going on with the Ravens. When they get in the end zone, they're on the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. And before I know it, Lamar's kicking the ball around like a soccer player. I'm like, what the hell's going on out there, to quote Vince Lombardi? I don't know.
I hear you. Well, let me look at it this way, and I'm going to go with you, Chuck. It looks like to me the defense is the problem. They can't stop anybody. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, it used to be their calling card, their defense, especially stopping the run.
Yeah.
And for some reason, man, that defense is porous. And it's funny, Kyle Hamilton, they just signed him to one of those largest contract a safety has ever gotten kind of deal just recently. I don't know what the deal is. You know, they said 16 times in Harbaugh's career, or maybe in the last 10 years, 16 times they've had a lead of 7 points or more in the second half and lost the game. So it's not a new thing. This is something they do. And it doesn't matter if it's against a good team or a sorry team. They shoot themselves in the foot. And I still think they're very talented. I don't think the defense is as good, but it's hard to explain. It really is hard to explain.
Larry, the voice of reason. Let me ask you. I mean, you're going to wrap this thing up. Chuck mentioned Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, great coach, many years in the league as a coach, leading teams, leader of men. Is he the problem?
Oh, I don't necessarily think that's it. I really go back to their defense hasn't played well. The only game they showed up at all was Cleveland, a team that has no offense. They pretty much choked against Buffalo. They should have won that game. And they really did okay, I guess, against Detroit, which has a great offense. But I think as Greg touched on earlier, their offense fell apart. Maybe you're right, David. Maybe all parts are falling apart. You might have to look to the head.
Is there any chance that maybe they're going to look at maybe replacing John Harbaugh? What do you guys think? And Larry, let's pick this up with you.
I haven't seen that as of yet. I kind of doubt that. He's had so much success there. I know he's been there a long time, but I don't see the wolves after him quite just yet.
Greg.
I think he would have to really tank a lot further than they're tanking right now. He's an institution in Baltimore. And Chuck just made me think about something. I was watching the game with my son, Greg Jr., who's a high school football coach, and knows more about football. He's forgotten more about football than I'm going to ever know. And he said, I never thought I would see the day when Baltimore Ravens would be known for an offensive team and not a defensive team. And that just, just struck a chord. I'm like, yeah, they don't get the stops they get, but yeah, I don't think he's in trouble just yet, but another year of folding in the fourth quarter and giving away leads, he might be on the boat.
Chuck, let me ask you, and you can wrap this up. Is he facing the same kind of situation that Tomlin is facing in Pittsburgh? Show me now.
No, I think their team is way more talented. I don't think that's it. It's hard to keep, in the cap era, it's hard to keep all these salaries and all these quality players together and your coaches together and so forth. So I think there's been some leakage there. But I also got to give the Detroit Lions some credit, right? That was a gutsy call on 4th and 2 or wherever that was, and they threw a pass for a first down that pretty much sealed the game. A lot of guys wouldn't have made that call. I'm telling you. In fact, the week prior, Baltimore didn't do it. They kicked the punt. Guy drove all the way down, scored a touchdown. So I tip my hat to Detroit a little bit. Their 2 running backs, the creativity that they had. Detroit is back.
Can I just say one thing to that, Chuck?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So the criminal mastermind may have gone to Chicago, but I got to tell you, I'm not seeing any loss on Detroit. It doesn't look like Detroit lost much with losing the offensive coordinator. Man, they're still doing the option that they ran. They're still doing tricky stuff and catching folks flat-footed. I'm pretty impressed with Dan Campbell. And everybody knows he's going to go for it. Everybody knows he's going to go for it, and they still don't.
Larry, let me ask you: is Dan Campbell not getting enough credit? And do offensive and defensive coordinators tend to usurp the role of head coach, in the media?
Well, I would like to comment on that. Criminal mastermind, offensive genius. I think it's good. It's easier to be that when you have great players. Now, I'm a longtime Washington fan. I remember we inherited one. I normally don't even say that. When Norv Turner came to Washington, he was a different coach when he had Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
We didn't see any of that.
Amen.
I say this to say, if you got good players, I think that they can carry on a little while without the coach.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Just talk about a couple of players and a couple of key plays that we saw this past weekend. Isaiah Rodgers with the Vikings. They were playing the Bengals. He's the first to return an interception for a touchdown and a fumble for a touchdown in the same game. And he forced 2 fumbles in that game. I think that action is literally worth millions of dollars for him. What do you think, Larry?
If he can continue to do that, he had a good game. Ed Reed used to do stuff like that sometimes. Not exactly the same thing, but I've seen games where he's got the sack, the fumble recovery, and running it for the touchdown. He's done it a few times. So if he could continue to do that, absolutely. One time, I don't think it'd quite get him there.
Chuck.
Sometimes freaky stuff happens, man. And sometimes you are the recipient of some of those freaky things. This is a marathon. This is not just a sprint. And we'll see how he performs the rest of the season. What we did see, though, is that guy Browning of Cincinnati, the backup quarterback for Burrow, he sure didn't look ready for prime time. And he didn't have any help because they had 5 fumbles and they lost 3 of them. So it was just a day of catastrophe for them.
Hey, Greg.
I got to say, for young Mr. Rodgers, career day for a 6th-round draft pick number 211 in his draft. That's I ain't ready to throw him in the category of Brady yet, who was also a 6th-round draft pick. But for a 6th-round draft pick, making the GM look like a genius.
All right, now here's my favorite play of the weekend. Jordan Davis, Philadelphia Eagles, big boy, 300 plus pounds, 8 16 miles per hour. Blocked the kick, ran it back for the touchdown, the game-winning action. Big man balling. What do you think, Greg?
Okay, so I was at the game when Reggie White stripped Doug Williams and ran 70 yards for a touchdown. I've never seen a man that size move like that. I gotta believe Reggie White was going probably 20 miles an hour. I'll give him 2 miles an hour more, but it is nothing more beautiful than to see a big man move like that. It was one of the most beautiful things I saw all weekend. I loved it.
Larry.
Greg, I was at that same game. I was a season ticket holder for years. Yeah, David. I mean, I thought he did his job once he blocked the kick, but he put the icing on the cake.
Yes,
on the score. All he really had to do was follow the ball. But he was rolling. He definitely put the icing on the cake. Hats off to him.
Chuck.
It was a freaky weekend, right? They had 4 blocked field goals in the fourth quarter across the NFL. Philadelphia had 2 black field goals in that game. It was I showed the replay and they showed the center once he snapped it. He didn't touch the defensive tackle coming up the middle. So I don't know what the center snapping the ball was thinking. But kudos to the big fella. But you know how perfect everything has to happen to block it, to pick it up, and then run that thing in for a touchdown. Philadelphia got lucky to win that game. I'm sorry.
I want to ask you guys, and I've been thinking about this. Is oftentimes 1 or 2 key plays in a career, can it define you? I think of Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
He had one spectacular catch, and it seemed to carry him for the rest of his injury-prone career. Chuck, let me start with you.
I don't think so. I don't. You might be able to get some love on a spectacular, like the guy from the Giants. Remember the guy in the Giants in the Super Bowl? He caught the ball on his helmet.
Yeah.
Right. And he got so much love, and they said he'll never have to buy dinner in New York or whatever the heck the story was. But he got cut the next year, I think, or something. Right. So I don't think the one splash play does it. I think you just got to have a body of work. That league is hard and it's tough and competitive as hell. And but yeah, I don't think it can carry you.
Greg, your thoughts?
So I think that there are plays that people remember folks by. Like folks will always remember my brother-in-law for running down Tony Dorsett. Right?
Definitely remember.
He'll always be remembered, but that's not his body of work. His body of work is he was a shutdown corner. And he got beat from time to time, but he always came back fighting, and he always made the big plays when they needed him. So I think that your body of work, the real aficionados, the people that are fly-by-night fans may only remember Odell Beckham's catch like that one-hand catch. But the real fans, the people that really understand and are real football aficionados, they understand your body of work. And to Chuck's point, listen, I watched 20 years of NFL up close and personal. That is the hardest job any human can ever do. That's just my perspective. That's a hard job.
It is a hard job. Larry.
Lots of it is timing when it happens. And Chuck pointed out something that was really sort of ironic. A guy made a big play in the Super Bowl. He gets cut. I think the same thing happened to the guy that intercepted Russell Wilson's pass.
Right.
He made 2 good plays. Matter of fact, he had the awareness to tackle the receiver inside the 10, and then 2 plays later, he intercepts it. He gets cut. What if you have somebody like Larry Brown who gets a couple of interceptions in the Super Bowl? He gets a big contract. So I guess it can work both ways.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to Andrew Stevens.
Andrew.
What's up, Andrew? How you doing?
That's a great picture, Andrew.
Andrew, is that the same suit from last week?
Oh, that's cold, Chuck. All right. The Packers. We would talk quickly about the Packers being stunned by the Cleveland freaking Browns. Greg, let me start with you.
So my favorite fictional coach, any given Sunday, on any given Sunday, you can win or lose. You're going to win or lose. But can you win or lose like a man? Coach Tony D'Amato. Anything can happen in the NFL on any given Sunday, man. Cleveland is dreadful. And the Packers, when they beat the Commanders, I thought they were probably the best team that weekend, but it's any given Sunday, man. And these are this just goes to show you these are NFL pros, and people on both sides of the ball get paid, and anything can happen, man. Anything can happen.
Chuck, Cleveland does have a pretty
Heck
stout
of a defense.
defense.
Heck of a
Heck of a
defense.
defense. They
That's 17,
struggle
16.
offensively.
That 17-16 game that Cincinnati barely beat the Browns, the first game of the season, doesn't look so bad now to show you the quality of defense. Now, I know the Ravens put 40 points on them, but that defense is pretty stout. But as you know, David, I'm monitoring something this season, and one of that thing I'm monitoring was in that game. His name is Jordan Love, the $55 million a year quarterback that you love.
We're talking money now.
Uh-oh.
$55 million quarterback that you love. They put 10 points on the board against Cleveland. So I'm monitoring that, keeping an eye on it.
We'll wait. We got a whole season to go.
Whole year.
All right. Larry, your thoughts real quickly.
I think Cleveland does have a good defense, and I was going to say the same thing that Chuck just said. They actually 2 out of their 3 games they've played pretty well. Baltimore certainly hurt them, but giving up 16 points to 17 points in this week. And I'll take nothing away from Green Bay. Their defense has been there every week.
Yes.
They've given up less than 15 points a game, and they beat 2 high-powered offenses with Washington and Detroit. They handled them pretty easily, and really they shut Cleveland down as well. Offensively, for as a quarterback, Green Bay's offense to me is okay, but their strength is certainly their defense.
Right.
Strength is their defense, but they've got a great quarterback. And I'm
Careful
going
with
to
the word
support
great.
Jordan Love.
Great, yeah.
Hold on.
Careful with the word great, David.
Yeah.
Hold on. We know you don't like Jordan Love.
I don't dislike him.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Anyway,
Ain't no
that
55
said, you mentioned that $55 million real quick. Anyway, let's do this. There were a bunch of backup quarterbacks this past week. I want to ask you guys, what makes a great backup quarterback? Have you thought about that, Chuck?
That's a good question, and there's been a lot of them, obviously, over the history of the NFL. I think Danielle, my daughter, uses this phrase: if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. And so I think the thing about a backup quarterback, they just got to be ready, man. And they, because they can be called in any time. And a guy named Brady substituted for a guy named Bledsoe, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Yes, indeed.
I know this group maybe even remember somebody named Earl Morrall, who came in to back up Johnny Unitas and so forth. So the whole backup quarterback thing, these guys are pros, man. At the end of the day, these cats are people are pros. These are the best.
Larry, what makes a good backup quarterback?
I think if you can come in and the team doesn't have to change their offense too much, and you can keep them afloat for a few games if necessary. I think that's a very important part. I think the real example, I wouldn't use Tom Brady because he probably should have been starting, but I'll give you Nick Foles as an example of somebody. He came in when Carson Wentz was actually having probably his best year of his career, and he came in and Philadelphia was still able to keep pretty much the same offense and actually win a Super Bowl with him. And he's not really, I would call somebody I call a starter.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks
Greg.
for joining us, Vince, and that was a good point you just made.
Exactly.
Vince is my first cousin.
There you go.
And he's a watcher. He watches from time to time and sometimes every week.
Yeah,
Thank you, Vince. Greg.
So I think there's 3 things I think that make a great backup quarterback, but I got a laundry list of great backups.
100%.
Some of them you may not even remember they were ever even a backup. But I think the great backups these days, they understand the offense that they're in. They really know how to come in and they understand the X's and O's of the offense. But the other thing is they have respect in the huddle. Like if you watch Any Given Sunday, one of the things Jim Brown said, we got the 3rd string quarterback coming in who ain't gonna give us nothing. Now the defense is gonna have to hold. So that's not the backup you want to be. But the last thing is they gotta have combat experience. They can't be just I've only practiced. You have to have stood in the pocket with 300-pound defensive ends coming at you, pounding your flesh, and know how to stay in that pocket and make it happen. So they got to have combat experience. But I'm telling you, I got a long list of great backup quarterbacks.
All right, well, give us one.
Okay, so Chuck already mentioned one, Tom Brady. Brett Favre was actually backup to Jeff George with the Falcons. He was actually a backup. George, my all-time favorite is George Blandon. George Blandon was like 63 years old, winning games in the last 2 minutes, right? Doug Williams was Jay Schrader's backup. He won a Super Bowl.
Look good.
Dave Laufenberg was like a fan favorite. I don't know that he was a great backup, but he was a fan favorite. But Tony Romo was Bledsoe's backup also. So these guys, you know, and when these guys get hurt, Bledsoe has opened up a lot of careers for a lot of people. I mean, he was like the golden boy coming out of college, but he always seemed to either get hurt or fold, and that was the end of his career as a starter. But no, it's been some great backup quarterbacks over the years.
Larry, you're
those
smiling.
guys you named are really starters. But let me give you guys an example. And you guys may not remember this. I guess I'm the oldest one here. Baltimore Colts, Johnny Unitas, back in the day.
Yes.
He gets hurt. They have an adequate backup named Quazzo, Gary Quazzo. He gets hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Tom Maddie, number 41.
That's the essence of a backup quarterback. And the team still advanced. A lot of it depends on how good your team is anyway.
Wow, true. But man, Tom Maddie, I forgot about Tom Maddie. Wow.
Running back.
I would have forgotten about him too, but the question gave, I had time to think today. So,
do you have one?
Well, I think Patrick Mahomes was the backup to the guy that got messed his leg up, Alex Smith, right? Alex Smith, yeah. And God knows the Packers, they've done that all the time, be it Brett Favre and Aaron and now Jordan Love, right? Their quarterbacks always sad.
Steve Young. I mean,
well, let me tell you who the best backup quarterback of all time is. There's only one name. His name was Kurt Warner. He came out of nowhere. He was not even supposed to play that year.
The
starting quarterback got hurt. Kurt Warner went in. He won the damn MVP and the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So the answer to this question is somebody that could come in and actually is a Hall of Fame starter.
Was he like bagging groceries or something?
He had been bagging groceries. He played indoor football.
Right.
Like arena league football, right?
Yes, indeed. Wow. Kurt Warner, 2-time MVP.
There's some great stories.
I met him at a Hall of Fame one year. Nicest guy in the world, man. Such a nice guy. Really nice.
I like him on TV. I really do.
Real nice, dude.
All right, let me ask you guys. Houston Texans, I think they're in trouble. I think they could lose as many as 10 games this year, if not more. Chuck, let me start with you.
I don't think it's as bad as you say, David. Let me tell you why. First of all, they got a good defense, and they got a good defensive coach, so they're always going to keep the game close. Their offense is struggling now. But what did they lose? They lost 14-9. They lost 20-19. And by the way, and then they lost 17-10. These are close games. And they play in a division that stinks. So I don't think they're out of it, although they do got to get this offense together. And it's been a struggle. And I mean, look, why did they trade their all-pro left tackle in Tunsil to the Washington Commanders? That didn't even make sense to me.
I didn't understand that. Yeah.
So I don't think it's as dire as you think. Although 0-3 is rough.
0-3 is 0-3. That's bad. That's bad.
I know.
Well, let me tell you who. Let me go with Larry, real quick. Go ahead.
I think they overachieved a couple of years ago, and they kind of fell back to earth last year. And I don't think their offense is that good. I guess they need a running back and another wide receiver.
But yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
quarterback
the whole team.
Well, the quarterback I think has kind of come down to earth. I thought he really overachieved his rookie year, and he hasn't been able to duplicate that.
Greg.
Yeah, so I would any day of the week. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. They had that game Sunday won, and their defense folded on them. They lost that game in the last 3 minutes. That they should have won that game. So for coach to be a defensive coach, I'm looking at coach saying, come on, coach, you got to get this defense right. The offense is not great, but they're not horrible either. They put enough points on the board to win.
They lost 20-19 the week before to the Bucs, and they should have won that game too. So
They had them.
But you're right, David. 0-3 is 0-3.
0-3 is 0-3.
0-3 is 0-3. Let me ask you guys. Now, this is a guy who I discovered. years ago, and he went to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and threw away another. Is Russell Wilson done? How bad was that game? It's just horrible. Do you guys agree? Chuck, let me start with
Well,
you.
I mean, the week before he had 460 yards.
And remember, I said he should have stepped down after that.
Well, I mean,
The last
Really?
observation of him was good.
well, look, he looked back on those 4 plays he had on the goal line, down near the goal line that's what got him benched, in my opinion. He has been bad. I have to give it to you. But you're right, David. It could be time now.
It's
It
time.
could be time.
Greg, your thoughts on my man Russell Wilson?
So I said a few shows ago, if they're struggling by week 3 or week 4, he's going to get pulled no matter what, because Daboll enters the season on the bubble. He
Right.
comes opening day, he's on the bubble. And the last thing he wants to do is get fired in week 6, being 0-6 and having never played the crown jewel of the draft in Dart. You've got to put this kid in. So if you lose with him, you lose with him. But you can't have a weapon like that on the bench and the guy like Russell throwing interceptions and just bombing. I mean, that he had 3.5 quarters of really great football, and then he just throws this turd of an interception. And yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go.
Larry, are you as down on Russell Wilson as we all are?
I don't know. To me, he's been what he's been for the last few years. I mean, I was stunned week 2. I mean, that he had his career day, but he hasn't been that good for a while. He's pretty much like
he's been
this is
bad.
what I expected him to be.
But
at best.
He's not even average now. I mean, it's ugly.
I said,
And you know how much
Father time, David. What's father time?
Well,
Undefeated.
I've been supporting Russell Wilson up until this
Yeah.
point. He's done.
Since the show.
Retire. All right. Let me talk
about that Giant
go
team.
ahead.
About
ahead.
that Giant team, there are 2 guys on that Giant team that I like. I like the little receiver Neighbor, and I really like that little guy Scatterboo. The little
Everybody
running
loves Scatterboo.
Scatterboo is good.
I like that little fella. Yeah. Anyway.
He's like a bull in a football uniform.
Right.
He's the best. He's the best running back. Rookie running back this year.
I like
I
him.
think so.
Yeah. All right. Now let me talk about the team that nobody wants to talk about, but I'm talking about
I know.
the Indianapolis freaking Colts. 3-0, 3-0, and Daniel Indiana Jones resuscitated. Larry, your thoughts on Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts?
Well, they remind me of the Commanders last year. Good plus luck. They went get lucky bounces. I guess what was it, the Broncos?
Yep.
Just when you have those 2 things working for you, I think you can go pretty far. I expect them to do pretty well.
Chuck.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think they've punted but 1 time in 3 games, which is almost unbelievable, right? So yeah, they look good, but this is the 3rd week in September. Let's check back with me in about the 1st week of November.
Well, they have a game coming up.
They play the
The
Raiders
Rams this week.
They play the Raiders the following weekend. But let me tell you a funny story. Let me tell you a funny thing about Colts. So they had that thing, what they call it, the Manning cast, when Eli and
Peyton.
So Eli Jones was in studio, he was interviewing him during the game, and he said, he said, Daniel, you've got off to 3 wins. You look really good. You got the offense pumping. You haven't really punted much. Do you think you're the best 3-game start of any Indianapolis Colts quarterback in the history of the game? And Daniel didn't realize that Eli was having fun, because he answered it straight. He played it straight, but I think he was taken by surprise. But that was funny. You just saw Peyton's face.
Oh, well, Eli and Peyton have a great chemistry together.
They do.
Great brother thing going on. Greg.
So I'd love to see the ratings, how Joe Buck and Troy Aikman stack up against them, because I only watch Peyton and Eli. If they're doing the game, I'm watching because they are hilarious. But when they had Daniel Jones on, my son told me, Greg said, Dad, I saw this thing online that said Daniel Jones looks like the guy playing the part of Eli Manning in a movie about Tom Brady. But
oh my gosh.
The Colts are for real. Jonathan Taylor is a beast. I've always been a big fan of his. Whenever he gets you just give him a crack of daylight, and he's gone. He's off to the races, man. He's gone.
He's got to stay healthy, though. He's got to stay healthy. He doesn't stay healthy.
Well, he's been fairly healthy. He's leading the league in rushing.
Oh man, the last 2 or 3 years I've had him as my fantasy running back. This year I had a chance to draft him, but I drafted Baltimore's running back instead.
Oh, Henry.
You got some fumbles.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It looked good on the whiteboard, right?
Well, one of those games he had 167 yards.
Game one, it was all right.
But I'm a big Jonathan Taylor fan, man, and I think it's going to be a good year for him. I think his offensive line is better this year, and so I think he's going to be a lot healthier, which was the difference between Saquon being hurt all the time in New York and being healthy in Philly. That offensive line makes a difference. So I think the Colts are for real. I do.
You know,
Saquon is so much.
Saquon, speaking of him, he has gotten off to a really slow start so far. His first 3 games, he hasn't had the Saquon kind of games yet.
Well, Saquon has become Saquon.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Hey, Phyllis.
Hey, Phyllis, how you doing?
Thanks for joining us.
All right. Now, top 3 NFL teams. And let me start with you, Chuck.
Well, hold on, Dave. Before we do that, Dave, what do you think about the Colts? I mean, you're there. What's your thoughts? You see it every day?
I think they're pretty good, and I think Daniel Jones is a relief for all of us who care about the Colts. Anthony Richardson, he was just too young. I think he has a chance to fix his career, but not with Indianapolis. Indianapolis. He only played 11, 12 college games. He played at a hardship high school. They didn't have much in terms of equipment and whatnot.
Right.
So his development has been slow. Given some time, he's still young. He's 22 years old, right. But it's not going to be with the Colts, and I don't think it should be.
And they haven't moved him. He's still
there. He's the backup.
Okay.
But I hope we don't see him.
I'm not sure Richardson gets the gravity of the NFL. It's this moments of lack of spatial awareness that, I'm not sure he gets how big where he really is. I mean, this is.
I think you hit it dead on, Greg. I think
maybe he's just not that good yet.
Right.
Some people it takes a few years for them to work.
If he gets those years.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason.
Amen. All right. Top 3 NFL teams at this moment. 3 games in. Yes, Chuck.
Combined the AFC and NFC? Okay.
Yeah.
I got the Bills. I got the Philly, and I have the Chargers. Although the Lions are coming, I have the Chargers. So Bills, Philly, Chargers.
Great.
So I got the Bills and the Eagles, but I'm stuck between the Lions and the Chargers. I'm struggling there. I'm not quite sure between those two. And I say that because I don't know if the Chargers are for real yet. I'm not quite there with them, but I know the Lions are. I know they're for real. So I guess it's Lions.
Larry.
Well, I got the Bills and the Eagles, but I'm going with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me tell you,
just to bring that up.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna break my rule for the 3 top NFL teams because I got one of them in a tie. Philadelphia is obviously number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is obviously number 2, but I got a tie with the Colts and the Lions. How do y'all feel about that?
Well, we know how you feel about the Colts, right? We get that.
I feel Green Bay beat the Lions.
Okay.
True
That's
that.
fair.
Sell me.
But it's kind of hard to argue against a 3-0 team, though. I mean, the Colts are 3-0, so it's kind of hard to argue against that.
You don't put them in now,
I
David.
agree, Greg. And we got what Tampa's undefeated.
True.
It's about like 6 teams that are undefeated.
Yeah.
And most of us are only picking 2 of them.
Hey, listen, Larry. If David doesn't put them in now, when will he put them in? You know.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait a minute.
They did
All
get
right.
kind of lucky against the Broncos, but
Yeah, they did.
They were lucky.
Luck-
The
luck
ref didn't
counts.
get a call.
But you need luck.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
he's
you know
right.
what? For that matter, Buffalo got lucky against Baltimore, and Philadelphia got lucky last week. So,
But you know what?
yeah, so I got to take my hat off to
Funny how the
Indianapolis.
good. It's funny how the good teams always. There's always some luck with the good teams, isn't there?
Well, Indianapolis, they
We
got
used to
their luck.
have luck. Andrew Luck.
How about that?
All right. Now, Chuck, you're going to like this. We're going to switch to some college football. And I got to tell you, I've been wrong. I don't like to say when I'm wrong.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I've been wrong. I've been wrong.
Full stop.
Indiana destroyed Illinois. Even with that cupcake schedule leading up to it, they demolished Illinois. What was it, 63-7?
10.
63-10? Okay, Chuck, it's your school, my mom and my sister's school. What do you say about Indiana?
Hold on a minute, David. They just scored again. I'm telling you something, man. Signetti, what he has done in football, college football, not basketball, when you only need 10, 12 players, but to change the culture and to come to Bloomington and do what he has done to this date for a school that you said it last year, David, losingest program in the history of the
They still have that.
Okay, David, take it easy. So the point is, he's changed the culture. That was a hell of a win. They're 4-0. They're now ranked 11th in the country. Go Hoosiers! What can I say?
I think they should be ranked higher.
The quarterback Mendoza, he was unbelievable. He was like 24 for 27 with 5 touchdowns and no picks. And his little brother is the backup quarterback too, which is kind of.
What year is the quarterback in?
He's going to be. He graduates. After
He's already graduated.
Okay,
so Larry,
this is last year.
Indiana, are they that good?
It's hard for me to tell about college football, but I always believe in letting things take place on the field. They against a team that's supposed to be good,
Right.
they certainly handled them last week.
Right.
Greg.
Yeah, I think they are that good. And I think it's all Signetti. I mean, it's one thing to have the transfer portal and NIL money, but it's another thing to develop a winning culture and an energy. And the way he's done it, they think they can beat anybody. He believes he can beat anybody.
Unapologetic. He's unapologetic.
And he'll run up that scoreboard on you, brother. He'll
Okay.
run it up. So I think it's a new day in Bloomington, and Signetti is the reason is a new
The football
day.
school, Greg.
Were they in the playoffs? They were in the
Football
playoffs last year, right?
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
So why not?
Yeah.
Before we end this discussion on Indiana, I want to go back to the Indiana grad, Chuck Snowden. How does Signetti compare to other Indiana coaches? Bill Mallory and
Mallory
Lee
was
Corso.
Way back when John Pont was good, Lee Corso never was good, to be honest with you. He was just, an exciting little guy like a carnival barker or something.
Right.
He was never really good as a football coach. I think Signetti has got to be the best. The guy, they had a guy there a couple of years ago who's now the defensive coordinator at Penn State. He had 1 or 2 good years, but I think Signetti is on to something. What they're going to have to be careful of is somebody doesn't come get him. Some big, like a Florida or some other big program.
I don't know what they're paying him, but they better pay him a lot more.
Gave him a new
But
contract last year.
he's 64 years old.
Yeah.
We're older than him.
Right.
And we struggle from time to time on this show.
Cool stuff.
All right. Clemson got spanked by Syracuse. Now, I supported Dabo Swinney last week. I don't know. Is he on the bubble, Greg?
Yes, sir. Indeed. Times 10. He's on the bubble because those folks in Clemson, what have you done for me lately? The best and worst thing you can do is have a successful program and win national championships because that is the new standard. I think that it's the problem also is they're like Alabama. They're not just getting beat, they're getting beat up. They're getting physically beat up. And when that happens, boy, the alumni and those big boosters with those big checks start saying, I can't spend this money if my kids are gonna just get beat up. We need some toughness. And I don't think Clemson intimidates anybody anymore. They just don't.
Hey, Larry, would you get rid of Dabo Swinney?
I'm not sure yet. I saw that game Saturday. Syracuse just looked better than them. And everything they came at Syracuse with, Syracuse had an answer.
Yeah.
I guess the coach is ultimately responsible, and he's the one that does not like the transfer portal. So maybe he might have to change his approach.
Chuck, he has won 2 national championships.
And a bunch of ACC titles too. A bunch of ACC titles. So I think they will give him a lot more rope than, say, for example, the guy from Oklahoma State. I guess they fired him today.
Gundy. Good riddance.
Yeah.
Mike Gundy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, and then UCLA's coach got fired a week or 2 ago, and there was somebody else that gotten fired recently. I don't think Dabo is in that situation. But now with the portal and the money,
I'm telling you, man,
even a little bit. I mean, even schools like Vanderbilt are winning now, and Georgia Tech. I mean, it's just a different day.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up college football with this. Your top 3 college teams so far. And let me start with you, Larry.
Ohio State, Oregon, not necessarily in any order. And who else was I going to say? I actually wrote that down. Oh, Miami.
Okay. Greg.
Ohio State, Miami, and LSU. No Penn State. Get out.
Okay. Wow. Chuck.
Hey, look, bear in mind, I'm going chalk. I go Ohio State, Penn State, Miami.
Okay, Penn State's got some reckoning to do this weekend.
Yeah, they got Oregon. Yeah.
Can the coach finally win a big game? Is it possible that Coach Franklin can win? I'm gonna start with you, Greg. You're a big Franklin fan.
Frank, let me tell you, Franklin, first of all, no, he cannot win a big game. And secondly, if he does happen, when he does lose it, he's going to blame the kids. They didn't block, they didn't tackle, they didn't run. They didn't do something right. It's never him. It's never Franklin. It's always the players, always the players.
Chuck, do you agree with that?
The game's up. No, he doesn't win a big game. He doesn't. But is that game up at Penn State this weekend? I think it's at Penn State.
I think it is.
I think that gives him a bit of an advantage. I think they'll pull this off. Although Oregon's been scoring a lot of points this year, but I think they'll. I think Penn State will get them this weekend.
Larry,
he can't win a big game, but he loses some of them too, and I think this is one he's going to lose. I picked Oregon as one of my top 3, so I'm going with Oregon.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to test you. All right. Before we wrap up the show, the WNBA, kind of exciting. We're in the Final Four. The Lynx, the Mercury, Aces, and my Indiana Fever. You see, I said my Indiana Fever.
You're back with them, huh?
We made up. We made up. Hey, Caitlin wasn't there, hadn't been there, but she's there in spirit on the bench. All right, Greg Fenner, your thoughts on the WNBA?
So, man, it's so much going on in the WNBA. This is the hottest playoff. I mean, maybe I'm paying more attention this year than I ever have before. But boy, I mean, it's absolutely incredible to watch. I'm still stunned that the Liberty coach got fired. I mean, 4 years. That caught me flat-footed. I didn't get that.
Won a championship last year.
last year. Now they got ousted in the first round. Yeah, I get that, but come on, man. I mean, can a sister get a break? I was shocked by that.
Yeah.
I thought that the Fever that's an interesting franchise. I mean, and I honestly believe that they're a lot of what they've done this year, even though Caitlin hasn't played, she only played in 13 games this year. A lot of what they've done is because of the energy she brought and the winning spirit, everything. I think she's a big part of their winning. But you can't give her too much credit because she's not on the floor right now, right? But I do think she's a big part of it, right? So there's that, right? But also A'ja Wilson. I mean, okay, here's what I say about A'ja Wilson. Her and Bam Adebayo, they're dating. In one-on-one, I got to go with A'ja because she's just too quick.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna go with A'ja. I can see her doing a step back. I mean, I'm telling you, Bam's got reach. He's a player, but A'ja Wilson is just a complete player. I mean,
she's a great player,
and she rises when she needs to. When they need her to come through, A'ja Wilson comes through, man. So it's just an incredible time to be watching WNBA.
Larry.
Well, I'm a big WNBA fan. I was before and now even more so. Right now, that league has so many good players. They have the right number of teams. They got like 13 teams. Yeah. But each team actually has 3 or 4 people that are really, really great. Yeah. 2 of my favorite players, Alicia Thomas playing for the Mercury and Professor Collier playing for the Lynx, are going against each other and guarding each other and talking trash to each other. And they're tied 1-1. It is great. I used to got so many online. I was looking at what's her name, Mitchell
Kelsey Mitchell.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
The game before last, she had it going on, and I give the Fever credit. One thing, they held Wilson to a poor shooting night, and I got to give it to Boston. She didn't score a lot, but she knew how to position herself. And I think Wilson shot like 6 for 22, and she did a great job defensively and rebounding. But it's great basketball. It's very intense. And in my closing comments, I'm going to comment more about the first round.
All right, Chuck.
So everything that Larry said, everything that Greg said, here's the only thing. I'm going to throw a little bit of cold water. I'm a little disappointed with the Fever. Here's why. Kelsey been carrying that team this year, right? Mm-hmm. And as they are talking about the stars in the playoffs, everybody, Collier, A'ja Wilson, the lady from University of Maryland, they've been getting all kind of pubs. They've been in all of the promos, and then the Fever they put in just these other people who are not Kelsey Mitchell. Right. I don't know why they're making Kelsey. I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't think that's cool. But they have overachieved without Caitlin.
Yeah. Kelsey Mitchell, unsung hero, heroine of the Fever. She was a finalist of the MVP. Right. Without Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever don't get this far.
Correct.
But let me ask you guys this: Caitlin Clark is in many ways responsible, whether we want to accept it or not, or others accept it or not, for bringing a lot of attention in the past couple of years to the WNBA. The WNBA without Caitlin Clark, because they've essentially been without Caitlin Clark all season for the most part. How does the WNBA stack up now? How do they market themselves? What's going on? And can they do it without Caitlin Clark being mentioned? Larry.
I think that's a blessing in disguise because I think she was getting an inordinate amount of attention, and it was good that she brought attention to that league. But if you watch them play, they have a lot of good ball players, and people will focus on them. Even if you look at talking about Kelsey Mitchell, she was a number 2 overall pick. Then they have Boston, who was also a number 1 overall pick. I mean, they got
some talent.
That squad, not to mention Caitlin Clark, they got a good team right there. But I think people are watching them play now. If people are following it, and there's great competition.
So I have to tell you, David, I'm a little guilty. I have not followed the WNBA like I did a year ago because I am a huge and unapologetic about it, Caitlin Clark fan, and she drew me in. So I've watched it. I found it interesting. Now that the playoffs have started, I have been watching it, but I didn't watch it as much as I did during the regular season as a year ago. But I think they're doing a better job in marketing the whole league. That team Valkyries and the Atlanta Dreams, those were two new teams to the scene this year, and they've done really well, those two teams.
All right, Greg.
So I think what happened on a lot of ways is Caitlin Clark was really the magnet. She was the draw. But once people got there, they realized there are really a lot of great players in the WNBA that they would not have noticed had it not been for Caitlin Clark drawing people into the league. So yeah, I think that while Caitlin Clark was the draw and the legitimate draw, the girl's legit. But now that she's out, folks have realized, wow, it's some other really great players here to watch. And I don't think a lot of people had heard of A'ja Wilson until they started watching because of Caitlin Clark. So she's done a lot for the game, and I think she's changed, obviously, the Fever. She turned that franchise around. But I think at the same time, people realize now there's some really great ladies playing that game in that league.
No doubt.
What do y'all think about what Mark Downs is saying?
One of the legends of Roosevelt High, Mr. Mark Downs. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Downs. We appreciate it. And these are some good thoughts that you had,
Mark, I'll tell you to watch a few more games. Watch the Phoenix Mercury. You look at their bigs. In addition to Thomas, they have another lady named Salaby or something like that. Great.
Oh, she's the one she's the rookie from
Germany or something.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. They have some talented big people there. They just can't jump like that. I mean,
Well, what I have to say, and I really like Caitlin Clark. I really like the Fever. Make some layups.
David, you need to watch. These women.
I watch. They miss too many layups. They miss too many layups.
I got to disagree. I think about you saying that, and I'm looking at them finishing with either hand in traffic.
Are they? Yeah, 65%. 65% is pretty good, but not.
They do just as well as the men.
No, stop, Larry.
You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them.
Right now, you're the voice of unreason.
No, you're biased. You haven't watched them. That's the difference. And what I still tell you, they've got the right number of teams, so the talent is very condensed.
Oh,
I think if they had like 30 teams, it'd be a different thing. They got the right number of teams right now.
Because Larry, last year that Phoenix, the Valkyries wasn't even in the league, but the Phoenix, the Valkyrie team, and the Atlanta Dream, we didn't talk about any of those three much last year, and they've played really, really well this year.
Thomas wasn't on their team last year.
Well, that's true.
And the other girl wasn't Salaby. Right. The Valkyries expansion team definitely overachieved.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Definitely overachieved.
And they sold out every single game.
Good.
And the rookie this year, Becca, she played very well.
Yeah.
She needs a team to play around with her.
It'll take time.
She's good. She's good. She's good.
And I got to give the Fever, with Clark missing so many games, I got to give the Fever their coach must be doing a fantastic job. Stephanie and they got other injuries too besides Clark. That's the other thing. She's not the only one hurt on their team.
They've got about 5 players that have been hurt.
Right.
About 5 players. I do watch.
They picked up Sophie.
I just want you to know I do watch. I do follow.
Oh, we know you. No, you watch. You watch the Fever.
Excuse me. You're not in my living room. All right.
Watch the Fever on the news at night when they win.
I hear you. I hear you. All right. Closing comments, gentlemen. Who's got a closing comment?
I'll start.
All right, Larry.
And I'll stay on the WNBA. The last round, it was great. The champions got dethroned. But the final game the deciding game in each round were all close.
Yeah.
The Mercury eliminated the world champions by 6 points, 79-73. All right. The deciding game of the Aces over the Seattle team, Skylar Diggins and them, 74-73, 1 point.
Wow.
The Lynx won their game over the Valkyries, the number 8 seed, 75-74. In the last game, the Fever, when they upset Atlanta, 87-85. Every game went down to the end, and those women were balling. I would tell you, and the intensity is still there. I would tell anybody watching this, watch the WNBA if you like competitive basketball.
All right.
And then the Fever beat the Aces in the first game of the second round.
Yeah.
There you go.
Both series are one apiece.
There you go.
Both series are one apiece.
All right. Who else got a closing comment?
I have one.
All right, go ahead.
There you go. So, and I've kind of brought this up a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to bring it up again. So we're coming to the close of the Major League Baseball season. And in the American League MVP race, you've got Raleigh, the catcher from Seattle, who's having an historic year. He's a switch-hitting catcher with 58 home runs and 121 RBIs. That's more than Ken Griffey's ever had with Seattle, broke his record. He has more home runs this season than Mickey Mantle broke his record. And yet, Mr. Aaron Judge is having a spectacular year too. He's batting 325. He's got 105 RBIs. He's got 49 home runs. And both of those teams that they're on are identical in terms of their record. I think that the catcher, if I were voting, I'd vote for Raleigh. But I think it's really, really close, and I think it's a toss-up. It's going to be interesting to see what the next 3 or 4 days and how that thing is going to ultimately play out. Both of them have had MVP-type seasons, though.
Greg, do you have one?
I do. So mine is about robots, umpires calling balls and strikes. When I first heard this, my eyes literally rolled up in my head. I said, you got to be kidding me. But the more I thought about it and watched, they do it in tennis. They use the replay, and they actually use marking first downs now. So you get 2 challenges a game. Only a pitcher, catcher, or batter can call for a challenge, and you get 2 a game. You win, you keep your challenge. You lose that challenge. And so when you take into consideration that 61% of ejections in Major League Baseball were because of over balls and strikes, 60% in last year, 60% this year. It's a good time to try some of this technology. And listen, every professional sport is moving at light speed. I'm amazed at the jobs that the referees and umpires, the ones they do get right, because I've been on the sideline for one NFL game, and it moves so fast. It's not for mere mortals. Ask Dan Quinn how fast they get to the sideline. I mean, they get to that sideline fast, right? And so statistically, 94% of the balls and strikes that are called accurately. So when you think about it that way, and they say it's only going to take 15 seconds. When I looked at all the facts and the stats, I'm like, you know what? This may not be a bad idea. So I'm all for it. I flip-flop real easy on that. I'm like, okay, I'm for it. It's at least give it a try. Two challenges, I can handle that.
All right, I'm going to conclude with a thought. It's kind of a sad note, but she lived a long life. Nancy Leonard, 93 years old, the wife of the greatest Pacer coach, Bobby Slick Leonard, Pacer broadcaster, Bobby Slick Leonard. Nancy Leonard was more than just Slick's wife. Yeah. She was the general manager, de facto general manager of the Pacers. She literally saved the franchise in 1977. She developed a telethon to raise season tickets. And if they hadn't gotten 8,000 season tickets, the Pacers probably would have folded. And you know how much the Pacers mean to me. Nancy Leonard was the GM in reality of the Pacers, if not the title. She was a great woman and supported the Pacers for many, many years. I feel sad about that. Slick Leonard, her husband, was my favorite basketball coach of all time. He was a great coach and a great broadcaster. He developed the signature call for three-pointers, boom, baby. So in the end, for Nancy Leonard, 93 years old, rest in peace, boom, baby.
Rest in peace, Ms. Leonard.
Yes.
Indiana University, Slick Leonard.
They met right there at Indiana University. All right, gentlemen, it's been great.
Good job, David.
It's
Great
been
job,
great.
Dave.
All right.
Welcome back, Larry.
Welcome back, Voice of Reason.
Thanks for putting up
Amen.
with me. I appreciate you guys.
We missed you.
All right. We'll see you next week, everybody, for Real Fellas Talk Sports.